Hello and welcome. My name is Squid Rectum. I almost forgot my name there for a while, but today I wanted to talk a little bit about maybe some stuff I was just thinking would be cool to have in Starfield. More specifically, kind of some shit that I just found fun while I was playing Fallout 4, because I just recently re-downloaded it again just because I randomly felt like playing it. So I was like, all right then, let me go ahead and see this. And you know, I feel like I generally tended to gravitate towards certain things in this game. 'Cause for the most part, honestly, I think I've already made my stance on Fallout 4 in this channel before. I just kind of said that, you know, it wasn't bad or anything, and it wasn't completely unfun, but there's definitely a lot of shit where I was just like, damn, that's kind of boring. Though I did somehow, and it's somewhere like this, I ended up sinking a couple hundred hours into it, yet for some reason I was like, damn, really? It's kind of boring. But there's some shit I really liked, and some of this stuff is just gonna be obvious stuff that is probably most likely definitely gonna get, you know, put into Starfield because they're both RPGs or action RPGs. I'm assuming. But yeah, first of all, but before we start with that, let's just get this out of the way.
Embarrassing mess. He doesn't give a fuck. He's dreaming. He's standing there pissed his pants looking for his tartar, caviar, white chocolate crap. And he's just running around like a toilet brush.
Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about some of the things that I just kind of, you know, enjoyed that I would hope to see in Starfield. So for one of them, this one should just be a given. Just crafting, just like in general, like every kind of crafting option that you have in Fallout 4, you got armor, weapons, you got the chemistry shit to make chemistry stuff such as bombs, stim packs, stuff like that. Drugs, you can be a drug dealer. Not really. I guess cooking would work too. But more specifically, this last time that I was playing, which last time I mean like over the last 3 days I was playing Fallout 4 for some reason, just felt like it. I really enjoyed the robots. I don't know why. I just had a lot of fun making robots and then just taking them to like a settlement and like letting them kill everything. I will admit it is somewhat, if a little limited. I know there's actually a lot of options there, but I feel like there's definitely, you know, some of them look kind of ugly, like Protectron shit. Like, why would you do that? Ew. I know that's kind of there for if you're a lower level, but it's kind of not, it's not cool, man. I actually even ended up downloading a mod because I'm a bit of a weeb, so I wanted to get made robots, and that was actually, they surprisingly meshed pretty well with some of the other robot pieces. Like I had one that had sentry bot arms and legs, and then it had the made robot, and it had the made body and head, and it surprisingly fit. But robot crafting, I spent a lot of time doing that for some reason, and it was really fun. I'd like to see that come over, and obviously just generally improve the crafting, you know, maybe actually let us make our own fucking weapons, or like any weapon, or maybe not any weapon, but a lot of weapons, maybe some more unique weapons that maybe are only craftable. I don't know. They're the game developers. They could probably come up with something way better than I could come up with off the top of my head right now. But moving forward to probably the second thing, better quote-unquote power armors, because obviously if we go, obviously that's not going to be a Fallout universe anymore, so they're not going to be called power armors. But I guess some kind of mech suit, or, you know, some kind of exoskeleton, something like that. I definitely think that they could do a lot more with it, because I feel like, you know, the power, I personally thought that they were really cool, the power armors. They look cool, and they're, you know, functionally they work as a power armor to make you an absolute unit. However, other than that, they don't really do much. I know you can add customization that gives it a bit more functionality, however not so much to change the game drastically, except for maybe like the jetpack. But then again, there's rare use case for that. You know, you could like hop all around Boston, but why? Something, you know, maybe make like an actual, like a little mini mech, you know, like the one in Borderlands 3, that little mini mech, maybe something like that, so you can actually become an absolute unit. Maybe something that's a bit more agile, because you know what, the one in Fallout 4 isn't very agile, and you know what, it's a completely different game, completely different universe, so you can really do a lot. Plus, if we're space age, we're probably way more technologically advanced than Fallout, which I guess Fallout's a little bit weird in that they're kind of technologically advanced, but at the same time not entirely. But yeah, just, you know, the return of a power armor of sorts, however, definitely made much better, would be awesome. Better better melee combat. I definitely think that melee would be it would be welcome by a lot of people, I think. Now obviously it's probably gonna be, you know, I'm assuming most of the work is gonna go into the guns, because I'm assuming it's gonna be more like Fallout in space rather than Skyrim in space. But I would like to see a bit more, you know, a little bit more put into the melee combat, because honestly Fallout kind of shit. Not gonna lie, even Skyrim's is pretty shit. However, you know, Skyrim's is better just because it just doesn't feel weird, you know. And I do actually enjoy melee combat, like, cause you know I like walking around with the fucking super sledge and just smashing shit. That's always been really fun. And Steel is fun, especially when you hit Brotherhood of Steel members and you break their armor. Now that's great. But I feel like if you've ever been in third person and fucking put a melee weapon on, it is disgusting. It looks gross. I don't know though, but definitely some kind of improvement there. Maybe better animations for. I mean, they're doing an animation overhaul. I mean, it's still gonna be creation engine, but animation overhauled. So this one might not be so big, but I think maybe some people could get behind it. Some kind of gimmick like VATS. Honestly, Elder Scrolls doesn't really have a gimmick like VATS, but I don't know. I think it might be cool if, like, you know, going away from Fallout, you did some similar type thing, but maybe not. Also, it could be cool, but it's not necessary. I don't actually know why I brought it up. Let's move on. Another thing that I was kind of thinking that I would think would be fucking great is, so I feel like, you know, anytime Bethesda makes a game, anytime there's any kind of like cities or villages or fucking settlements of the such, it just always feels so underwhelming, you know. Like Diamond City is fucking tiny, Whiterun is fucking tiny too. Everything is so small, all the settlements, all the little towns, and all the big towns. The fucking, I just would, you know, I think now that they should definitely have the technology to be able to make bigger ones, because, you know, as far as I'm assuming here, it's not going to be post-apocalyptic. Now maybe it could be like, you know, you're going to be like in like colony worlds, but even then I think you could definitely make some kind of bigger type of like settlements or colonies and make the world feel more interesting, more lived in, more crazy, shall I say. I don't know, just more grand in general, with like towns and cities and villages and settlements or whatever. Kind of one of the last things, and this wasn't too well put together, but I don't care, it's fine. Probably the last thing, I don't know how people feel about settlement building, but I actually like settlement building. I feel like like when I first started playing Fallout, I didn't really do any settlement building, but then once I kind of stopped and came back to it, I spent a lot of time in settlement building, and it's pretty fun. And I kind of hope that they bring back some sort of settlement building, but you know, obviously, as always, just make it better, because right now it's not all that amazing. It doesn't just work, and I want them to make it just work, 'cause that would be fucking nice. You know, bigger ones, more options, probably better. I don't know, man. They could go a lot of places with this. Maybe you can have like your own fucking ship station or whatever. I'm not sure. But let's kind of move away from things that I found in Fallout 4 and just go to things that more general space shit that you can do, and some other more wild ideas I kind of have that I'm pretty sure some other people also kind of have too. So they're not that wild. First of all, space flight. I'm pretty sure everyone kind of wants to see some form of space flight in this new game. Now that might be a little weird considering how kind of jank creation engine is. Now obviously a lot of that does have to do with the developers too, not necessarily making it the best so that they can clean up the jank. However, you know, I definitely want to see some kind of flying. That'd be awesome. Like I said, vehicles in Fallout, in the other vehicles in the creation engine have never been that great. Let's just say that. I'm pretty sure, you know what, I'm just gonna name off some of the things that I'm pretty sure a lot of people have asked. You know, definitely, you know, multiple worlds, multiple big worlds to explore. Fucking definitely bring back some of those like older, like maybe like Fallout 3, or bring some shit over Fallout New Vegas in terms of like customization, dialogue, such like that. And I guess another thing, this is kind of one of those things that I was kind of thinking about, that I'm not sure. I don't know how people would feel about this. I'd personally be really happy is if they kind of did like a science fantasy thing, you know? Like they added, like, I guess it's kind of like they just kind of took Fallout, Skyrim, put those bitches together and then sent them to space, you know? Kind of like that, like a science fantasy, you know? maybe we have some kind of magic elements in there too, and you know, we got science in there too, we got some magic, maybe some mythical type shit going on. You know, honestly, alien planets are basically, well, I guess technically fantasy setting is, you know, it's like real life, but just so much more fantastical. That's kind of stupid way to explain it, but it really is. And I think that you can make an alien world look fantastical. So, you know what, that just kind of, you know, that already kind of just having the sci-fi there, it already just works towards making it fantasy. All you gotta do is just add some of those fantasy elements, and then boom, science fantasy. I'd love to see it. Don't know if they'll make it. Definitely would add a lot to a game like that. Like a lot to have like some kind of magic system in there. But yeah, honestly, that's all I have to talk about. It was a little shit, but you know, it's just random thoughts I wrote down in a notebook while I was playing Fallout earlier, and I was like, you know what, might as well share them with everyone. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to watch more of me. Check out my Twitch if you feel like it. I stream sometimes, and this is Squid Rectum, not forgetting his name. And I'll see you guys next time.